What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to TTB Ravens Media. Bring Ravens content every single day. If you want to see daily Ravens content, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below and hit the notification bell as well if you want to get notified every single time I upload a brand new video, because it is the NFL draft weekend and every single time the Ravens make their pick, I'm recording my instant reaction and uploading it as soon as possible. So if you want to see my takes, instantly on all of the players drafted, make sure that you are, on the lookout for those. But, before the NFL draft gets going on day 2 today, I'm putting out a couple of videos. I've already put out a video talking about, the day 1 recap, the day 1 analysis, talking about Kyle Hamilton, talking about Marquise Brown trade, talking about Tyler Linderbaum. Now, I'm going to be talking about, how do we replace Hollywood Brown? Well, a lot of people are thinking that that's going to be in the day 2 of the NFL draft, the second and third round. So I'm going to be talking about the best wide receivers for the Ravens to target. Guys, let me know who you want the Ravens to draft a wide receiver, if you want them to draft a wide receiver, and if you think don't draft this guy, let me know as well. So starting off, the Ravens have a couple of picks. They have 2 exactly. However, they do have 6 fourth round picks, so they do have the potential to trade up if they want to, and snag a guy if he does become available. I think there's a possibility the Ravens package some fourths and a second to move up farther in the second, or to package a couple fourths to get into the third round to maybe snag a wide receiver that is available. I'm going to talk about a couple of guys I think the Ravens could go after in round 2, and then I'll talk about a couple of guys the Ravens could go after in round 3. Starting off with round 2, I think that the 2 biggest names are Christian Watson and George Pickens. I've talked about them a ton. Now, I don't know if Christian Watson's going to be able to fall to pick 45. There's some chance that maybe he does, or maybe George Pickens falls, but the way the receivers were bouncing off the board, the way the Green Bay Packers need a wide receiver, the way a lot of these teams, that wanted a wide receiver couldn't get one because everyone, was just snagging the top 6 so quickly. I don't know if he's going to be able to fall to pick 45, but I think he's worthwhile talking about because I think he's incredible. Great size, 6'4", great speed at, a 4.3 40-yard dash. He has all the potential in the world. He is coming out of a smaller school, so we don't know exactly how quickly his play is going to be able to translate to the NFL level. But I think he would probably be the number 2 guy that I would talk about in round 2. Number 1 being George Pickens. George Pickens, if not for his injury, he could have been maybe the best wide receiver in this draft. He is a guy with great physicality, great hands. He's similar to an Anquan Bolden type of player for the Baltimore Ravens, and he's got great size. He's not going to turn on the burners like a Christian Watson, like a Tyquan Thornton. But what he is going to do is he's going to box you out, and he's going to make that 50-50 ball catch, and he's going to get a little bit of separation so that he can, make plays with the football in his hands. I think he's a phenomenal player. Maybe he's able to slide because of the injury history, and hopefully the Ravens are able to snag him. A lot of people thought the Green Bay Packers could take him in round 1. A lot of people thought that, I saw a lot of people wanting the Kansas City Chiefs to snag him, with their late pick in the first round. But unfortunately for them, they were not able to. They ended up going with a different George, with George Karlaftis. And now that means he is going to potentially be available. However, I'll bring up another guy that the Ravens could take, in that second round, if those guys are available. I don't know how valuable it would be, but I'm going to say Alec Pierce has a little bit of potential. He could be a third round player. I'm not saying he, without a doubt is a second round player. But Alec Pierce at 6'3" out of Cincinnati, and he does have good speed at, around a 4.4 40-yard dash, almost a 4.4 flat at a 4.41. He has potential at the, the size that the Ravens potentially are looking for to replace Hollywood Brown with, because a lot of people have been saying we need that guy for jump balls. I've been saying it. We need that guy with height and speed that can go out and make big plays and big catches down the field. So I think Alec Pierce could potentially be a guy. Maybe the Ravens trade a little bit back in the second round, if they want to snag him, or maybe they trade up and get him in the late second round, trading up with a couple of fourth round picks, or, however they want to do it. I think he's worthwhile talking about. There's other players, guys, guys like Sky Moore, there's like 10 players that could be day 2 wide receivers. I don't have time to talk about every single one of them. Talking about my favorites. Now, talking about round 3 guys, the hope is maybe John Mechie slides. John Mechie, monster wide receiver coming out of Alabama. They've been producing wide receivers in the NFL. They've been producing wide receivers in the NFL, and he could come in and be a great player from day one. Especially if he slides to day three. He's one of the best wide receivers in this draft. He has really solid route running, can get separation, good hands, and yeah, he was playing at Alabama across from Jameson Williams, but he can do his job. An interesting potential is Calvin Austin. I don't know how much I love Calvin Austin, but he's fast. 4.3, 40-yard dash. And that's something that he can absolutely, fulfill. At that size, it's similar to Hollywood Brown, right? If the Ravens want to replace Hollywood, Calvin Austin is the guy. Very fast, very small, very quick. I don't think it would be the best pick, but that's the most similar pick the Baltimore Ravens could make. Yeah, so Calvin Austin, if they want to replace Hollywood Brown with the most similar player, that's still available, it would be Calvin Austin. However, I don't think that would be the smartest of moves. But there are other players, guys like Jalen Tolbert out of Southern Alabama. I think he could be a really solid player for the Ravens. He doesn't have incredible size. He's only like 6'1", but that's solid. He's got decent speed for his size. The problem I have with him is we need a wide receiver that's going to be able to, make those instant impact type of plays. I don't know if a round 3 wide receiver like him or David Bell or Wan'Dale Robinson could be one of those players. John Mechie, I think, is the best day 3 option. Round 3 option. If the Ravens really want to, quote unquote, reach, they could go with Tyquan Thornton, because of his size and his speed. He could be a really solid pick. But those are the guys that I really like. I apologize. Hopefully when I cut, I got a phone call and I had to answer. So hopefully when I cut it, it ends up looking pretty solid. But guys, let me know what wide receivers you want the Ravens to draft. My obvious top 2, Christian Watson, George Pickens. Don't know if they're going to be available, which means I really want, John Mechie. Maybe a Tyquan Thornton, maybe he gets to round 4, or even a guy like, there's just so many players, the Ravens could target. But let me know who you guys want. Thank you everybody for watching. Subscribe for daily Ravens content. I'll see all of you again later today with another video.